truths.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing.
We don't need to work on conditions, we need only to work on ourselves. The only place we can cure our lack and limitation is in our own mind. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. When we have done it there, we shall find that the world, that is your body, your environment and conditions, will be a mathematical reflection of your inner state of mind. Whatsoever things ye ask for when ye pray, believe that ye have received them and ye shall have them. That is the basis of all successful prayer, whether for the healing of our bodies, for prosperity, success, for achievement, or for material benefits. Once you convince your deeper mind that you have the thing you want, it will proceed immediately to bring it to pass. You might say to me, how can I convince my deeper mind, my subconscious, that I have riches or any other good thing, when my common sense tells me that bills are piling up, creditors are after me, the bank is calling up to pay for the mortgage, and for the money I owe, and so on. You can't. If you keep thinking about debts and obligations and how much you owe, you'll only magnify your misery. But here is a truth about the laws of your mind. Your deeper mind accepts as a fact whatever you repeat to it in convincing tones. Often enough, just the same as you learn to walk. You had a thought pattern, an act, whether it's swimming or walking or playing tennis or golf, and you repeat it over and over again. You knew what you were doing and why you were doing it. You want to learn to walk, you want to learn to dance, you want to learn to swim. So finally your subconscious assimilated the pattern, didn't it? And then you swim automatically and you walk automatically. The same procedure in praying for wealth or anything else. Once your subconscious accepts the statement as a fact, it proceeds to do everything possible to bring riches to you. Now that's the whole purpose of affirmations, so that you convince yourself of the truth of that which you affirm. Then your deeper mind will bring these things to pass. Many men say to me, I got an affirmation from someone, and it said, I am rich and prosperous now, I am successful, and I'm very wealthy. That affirmation, he said, succeeded in making me much more aware of my need, because you see, he believed more in poverty and lack than he did in the riches all around him. So I explained to him, I said, you must turn away from that pattern and come back, change your belief. Your subconscious accepts what you believe. I said, look around you, realize that God created you and the whole world. It's an invisible spirit within you. Everything is made inside and out of it. It started your heartbeat. It's the air you breathe, the water you drink, it's the fruit that you eat. And therefore turn away and turn within and change that and say, I recognize the eternal source of my supply. God is the source of my supply. All my needs, spiritual, mental, material, are met at every moment of time and point of space. And God's wealth is circulating in my life, and there's always a surplus. So by day and by night I'm advancing, moving forward and growing, spiritually, mentally, materially, financially, intellectually, in every way. And all things be ready if the mind be so. 'Tis done unto me as I believe. Before they call I will answer, while they're yet speaking I will hear. Oh, how I love thy law. Let it be my meditation both day and night. And the law is, I am what I contemplate, I am what I believe myself to be. According to my faith is it done unto me. God gave you richly all things to enjoy. God made you rich, why then are you poor? And as he began to realize the source of the infinite ocean of supply, the source of the very hair in his head, the source of the power that enabled him to lift a chair, the source of the grass, the source of the hay in the field, the source of the cattle on 1,000 hills. He began to realize the source, aligned himself with it, and then it made sense to him. Then he realized that he was writing in his subconscious mind the idea of wealth, growth, prosperity. He changed his belief to a belief in the riches, the endless riches all around him, instead of poverty, which was a false belief in his mind. Don't you know there's enough fruit rots in the tropics to feed all humanity? Nature's lavish, extravagant bounty. God gave you richly, yes, all things to enjoy. These things, he said, I've said unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and your joy might be full. Heretofore you've asked for nothing, now ask, that your joy might be full. And I am come that you might have life, and have it more abundantly. Heretofore you've asked for nothing, now ask, that your joy might be full. And to ask, you see, in the Bible is to claim. And as Paul says, you claim it boldly, but you know what you're doing, and why you're doing it. So, if you have a lot of debts and obligations, a lot of bills to pay, don't worry about them. Turn to the source, which is endless. Remember, the farmer, what he says to you. He says, well, I don't worry about the weeds. The grain is growing, and it will kill all the weeds. That's what the farmer tells you. Likewise, as you focus on your good, on guidance and right action, on the eternal source of your supply, whether it is mental or spiritual or financial you need, there's but one source, not two. And as you turn to it and give thanks for that endless supply, then all the weeds will be killed. Thoughts of lack and limitation will die in you, and God will multiply your good exceedingly. Joy into your life. Pray for joy by claiming it. The joy of the Lord is my strength, the Bible says. Repeat that to yourself, and after a while, you'll be amazed what will happen to your bloodstream and to the general circulation. Don't keep analyzing it or gritting your teeth about it. Just know that joy is the elan of life, the expression of life. Don't work like a horse at it. Use no willpower, no muscle power, no blood vessel power is involved in this mental and spiritual therapeutic technique. Just know and claim that the joy of the Lord is flowing through you now, and wonders will happen as you pray this way. Freedom and peace of mind will be yours and yourself. If you have peace of mind, peace in your heart, your home, relations with people, peace with the Lord, God. And there is a river, streams would all, like glad the city of Nagal. The city of God is your mind, the people who dwell there. For you know very well what's there. Your thoughts, ideas, images, beliefs, opinions. Make sure to conform to the divine standard. A woman said to me, I was blocked financially. I had reached the point where I had not enough money for food for the children. All I had, she said, was $5. I held it in my hand and said, God will multiply this exceedingly according to his riches and glory. And I now feel the riches of the infinite. All my needs are instantaneously met now on all the days of my life. And she believed that. It wasn't idle words. You don't gain the ear of God by vain repetition. No, you must know what you're doing, why you're doing it. You must know that your conscious mind is dependent. You're writing something, engraving something in your subconscious mind. And whatever you impress your subconscious mind with will be expressed on the screen of space. You can forth as thought, function, experience, and events, good or bad. So make sure you plant that which is lovely and good report. She said, I affirmed that all my needs are instantaneously met now in all the days of my life, and what I have now. And a great sense of peace came over me. I spent the $5 freely for food. The owner of the market asked me if I wanted to work there as a cashier, since the present one had just gotten married and left. I accepted it, and shortly afterwards I married the owner, my boss. And we have experienced, and are experiencing, all the riches of life. This woman looked to the source. She didn't know how her prayer would be answered, because you never know the workings of the subconscious. She believed in her heart in the blessings of the infinite. Called to believe is to live in the state of being. It also means to be alive to the eternal truths. Her good was magnified and multiplied exceedingly, because the subconscious always magnifies what you give attention to. There is a presence and a power within you, and you can use it, and you can stir up, as Paul says, the gift of God within you. For God is the giver and the gift, and everything has been given to you. And therefore you can tune in and claim guidance, right action, beauty, love, peace, abundance, security, or is involved in this mental and spiritual therapeutic technique. Just know and claim the joy of the Lord is flowing through you now in wondrous happen as you pray this way. Freedom and peace of mind will be yours as a result. If you have peace of mind, peace in your heart, your home, relationship with people, peace with the Father, the heart of God. And there is a river, the streams whereof, make glad the city of my God. The city of God is your mind, the people who dwell there. Well, you know very well who dwells there. Your thoughts, ideas, images, beliefs, opinions. Make sure they conform to the divine standard. The woman said to me, I was blocked financially. I had reached the point where I had not enough money for food for the children. All I had, she said, was $5. I held it in my hand and said, God will multiply this exceedingly according to his riches and glory. And I now feel the riches of the infinite. All my needs are instantaneously met now on all the days of my life. All right, and she believed that. It wasn't idle words. You don't gain the ear of God by vain repetitions. No, you must know what you're doing and why you're doing it. You must know that your conscious mind is a pen and you're writing something, engraving something in your subconscious mind. And whatever you impress your subconscious mind with will be expressed on the screen of space. It'll come forth as form, function, experience, and events, good or bad. So make sure you plant that which is lovely and of good report. She said, I affirmed that all my needs are instantaneously met now in all the days of my life for about a half an hour, and a great sense of peace came over me. I spent the $5 freely for food. The owner of the market asked me if I wanted to work there as a cashier, since the present one had just gotten married and left. I accepted it, and shortly afterwards I married the owner, my boss, and we have experienced and are experiencing all the riches of life. This woman looked to the source. She didn't know how her prayer would be answered, because you never know the workings of the subconscious. She believed in her heart in the blessings of the infinite. Follow. To believe is to live in the state of being. It also means to be alive to the eternal truths. Her good was magnified and multiplied exceedingly, because the subconscious always magnifies what you give attention to. There is a presence and a power within you, and you can use it, and you can stir up, as Paul says, the gift of God within you. For God is the giver and the gift, and everything has been given to you. And therefore you can tune in and claim guidance, right action, beauty, love, peace, abundance, security. You can say to yourself, well, God's ideas unfold within me, bring me harmony, health, peace, and joy. If you're in business, you're a professional man, you're an artist, you're an inventor, just sit down quietly and say, God reveals to me new creative ideas, original, wonderful ideas, which bless humanity in countless ways. And then watch the wonderful ideas come to you. And they will come. Because when you call, it answers. Remember what it says in the Bible? Call upon me, I'll answer you. I'll be with you in trouble. I'll set you on high because you have known my name. And the name means the nature. Well, the nature of infinite intelligence is responsiveness. Call, the response comes. Constantly affirm, feel and believe that God multiplies your good exceedingly, and you will be enriched every moment of the day, spiritually, mentally, intellectually, financially, and socially. For there is no end to the glory of man for his daily living.